I'm going to be making homemade chorizo. So you're going to need black pepper, garlic, cloves, and you're going to need some thyme, just a pinch, not much. You're going to need some cumin, some paprika, some bay leaf, and some white vinegar. You're going to need some chile guajillos. You're going to need ground pork, ground beef. I got the ground chuck. And in my, forgot what you call this, the blender, you're going to need some bacon. Okay, so I'm going to blend the bacon. Let me do that right now. And it's a food processor, not a blender. So I'm going to process the bacon. It's going to be loud. Okay, I'm done processing it. And that's what it's going to look like because you're trying to get all that fat there together. So I'm going to blend that. Well, not blend. I'm going to mix the bacon with the fat with the pork and the ground pork and the ground beef. Okay, so the next step to do, I've already processed the bacon and mixed it. Basically, I'm making fat for the chorizo. So I'm going to mix this in a little bit. But first, I'm going to get the water to boil. And then after it starts to boil, I'm going to turn it off. And I cut the little ends right here. Took out the seeds. See, took it off. And I cleaned it. And then once this starts to boil, these are going to soak in the water for 30 minutes. Or until they're soft, and it could be less. Okay, so the water's already starting to start a little boil. So it's kind of like a simmer. I'm going to go ahead and put these in. And just let them soak for a little bit. As long as they soften up, I would say about 5 minutes. You can leave them longer. I normally do 30 minutes because I just let it sit there. But you can do about 5 minutes. As long as they're soft and pliable, you can go ahead and do that. Okay, so let that soak for a little bit and then we'll be back. Okay, so they've been sitting about 5 minutes. I'm going to go ahead and blend them. They even change color once they've been sitting there. Okay, I'm going to put them in the blender. And then to the blender, I'm going to add the bay leaf. I'm also going to add the garlic. I'm going to add the clove. I'm also adding the thyme. And I'm going to add a little bit of the juice that I used for the chiles. I'm going to use about a half a cup. I'm going to put it in the blender so they can blend. Okay, we're going to cover it. We're going to blend it, make it into a little paste. So the paste is a little too thick. So I'm going to go ahead and add one more scoop. You really don't want it too watery because you don't want the chorizo to be watery. Just going to add a little bit, not a lot. I can always add more, but I can never take it out. So see, that's what I'm going to do. So I'm going to blend it. And all I'm trying to do is get a paste. Okay, so here's the paste. But just in case something did not blend, I'm going to put it through the sieve. Okay, so I'm just going to put the sieve here. And we're going to put this through it. And all you want to do is work it through there. See, you can see a little bit of the stuff right there. I don't want to be chewing on any of that, so that's why I'm going to put it through the sieve so I could just stay with the puree at the bottom. Okay, so let me go ahead and do this and I'll be back. Okay, so this is what you're left with. The pulp from the pods of the chile guajillo. A little bit of the laurel, but you got plenty of the flavor from it blending together. If you want, you can put this back in the blender, put a little bit more juice, blend it again, and then put it through the sieve. I'm going to do that so I can get this garlic because I do want the flavor of the garlic. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to put it one more time through the blender and then the sieve. Okay, so there it is. It's just a paste now. Now, I didn't say at the beginning salt, but you're going to add salt to your taste. I'm adding about a tablespoon of salt. You don't have to add it. I'm going to go ahead and put all the spices in already. because we're going to mix all of this together. Make sure you wear gloves because this is going to sting your hands like forever. Okay, and then the vinegar, I'm going to put it on the side right here because I'm going to work it in. Okay, so make sure when you put on gloves because this is going to stain, and just mix everything together. Mix it real good. Okay, and I'll be back when it's all mixed. Okay, so here is the chorizo, guys. Now you're going to let it rest. You can put it in a Ziploc bag. You can wrap it here. Totally up to you. I'm going to put mine in small Ziploc baggies because I'm going to freeze them. So whenever I want chorizo, I have chorizo because it is a lot of chorizo here. I got about 4 pounds of chorizo right here because it's maybe more. About 4.5 maybe. Because I have 2 pounds of ground chuck. And I have 2 pounds, or you can use ground beef. And 2 pounds of ground pork. And I have about almost a whole pack of bacon. I just didn't use about 3 strips maybe. But almost a whole pack of bacon in here. So I'm looking at about almost 4.5 pounds of chorizo. So I'm just going to go ahead and let it rest. And then in the morning, it is 10 right now. And I'm going to cook it around 10 o'clock. I'm going to give it at least, keep it overnight so it can, all the spices can marinate together and it'll have more of the chorizo. Because if you cook it right now, yes, it'll cook like chorizo, but it's not going to have that flavor. It's going to be totally different on that chorizo. But look at that. It has that chorizo feel. It looks like chorizo. See, that's what you get in the tube. The only difference is that mine's not in the tube. Mine's just right here. So that's, if you take it out of the tube and you play with it, this is what it's going to look like. Make sure you wear gloves, guys, because look, this is what my glove looks like. So I can imagine what your hands are going to look like. It's going to stain. So make sure that you put on gloves to do this. Okay, so I'll show you in the morning what it looks like after it's cooked. So I got some Ziploc baggies and I filled them up. I got 5 of them here and then half here. Each one of them, I just put about 5 big scoops in it. And this one has about 3. So I'm going to be cooking this for breakfast, guys. Can't wait. Excited. Good morning, my foodie family. How's everybody doing this morning? I am making my chorizo that I made last night, homemade. I will link the, once the video is over and everything, I will link the, sorry, I'm warming up tortillas. The recipe. I'm going blank this morning. My coffee just finished brewing, so haven't even had my first cup of coffee. But I'm going to get that first. While I wait for y'all to get on, it's early. Y'all probably not going to be on. Y'all get to see the replay. But either way, I'll link the recipe. I'm going to start on the chorizo here in a second. Let me get some coffee first, okay? Let me flip y'all around. I'm warming up tortillas right now. Give me a second. Okay. So here is my homemade chorizo I made. Tastes really, really good. I like it. We all like it, actually. So I'm gonna trying to warm up tortillas here. Get all this going. Give me a second. I gotta get coffee, guys. Let's see, what cup do I get? I have so many cups. It's not even funny. How many cups? Oh, how about my Wizard of Oz? My son got me this, I believe. And I don't even think it was Kansas. I think it was in Oklahoma. Not sure. But there was a museum there that had it and he bought it. Anyways, it says the Oz Museum. And I'm a real witch without my caffeine. So I'm going to go get my coffee first. And let me get the tortillas off because I don't want them to burn while I'm over there getting my coffee. I know I have y'all taking a little while. Give me a second, guys. Sorry. Good morning, Linda. Sorry, I went to go get my coffee. I actually have my, excuse me, my coffee station up front in my living room. There's a wall space there that's empty, so that's where I keep, kind of like a little dresser. I guess you want to say it's a, I forgot what you call it, but it's pretty high. I keep all my coffee stuff there and chocolates and stuff like that. Okay, so let me get started here. Getting my tortillas going. And you don't need oil because I added ground pork, ground chuck, which is, you can use ground meat. I just used the ground chuck because I like the texture from it for the chorizo. I also used bacon. So the bacon, I put it in the processor, and you get a fatty bacon, the one that has the most fat, because really what I want is the fat. So that way when you cook it, you don't need to add oil. You use the fat for it. And I use comino, I use black pepper, I use white vinegar. I also used thyme, some salt, and I'm trying to think. Oh, I used some bay leaf. I used some cloves. And I think that's it. I can't remember on top of my head. But let me... Getting my coffee. I have to have coffee, guys. Sorry. I'm rushing this morning because I'm trying to get breakfast out before my son goes to work. And he'll leave here, I don't know, about 8:30 the latest. And even then, that's running a little late. No, I think he'll do a good time. But I wanted to make sure I had everything ready. Yes, I have to use a straw for my coffee. I'm so used to it that my lips cannot take the heat, but my tongue can. So that is so weird that I can do that. Drink it real, real hot, but as long as it doesn't touch my lips. I needed my coffee. Okay, guys, I'm working to it. I just don't like leaving the tortillas unattended and burn on me. Y'all guys need to smell this. I froze the other ones. I made quite a bit of chorizo. It was 2 pounds of the ground pork and 2 pounds of the ground chuck, and a whole pack of the bacon. I only left a couple of strips, so might as well use the whole pack. I should have, but I didn't. I left it there. I have not turned on the heat on this yet. I will. And make sure you wear gloves, guys, when y'all make this chorizo, because it will stain your hands. Okay. Turn up the heat on this. Sorry guys, I'm over here looking to see what I'm gonna give my son for lunch and breakfast. He's gone all day, so the tortillas are almost done. I'm just waiting on the tortillas. This are heating up here in a little bit. I'm getting my plate so we can ready. I wish I could smell this. You actually really, I love the way my vinegar smells. So yes, I'm weird that way. But you'll get to smell the smell of the vinegar. And it smells kind of strong, actually, if you don't like that smell. But the taste is really, really good. I taste a lot of flavor of the vinegar only because I eat chorizo plain. When you eat it with the eggs, and the reason I don't eat eggs. But my husband tells me you don't taste the vinegar at all. So, and you're gonna see little chunks like this. So, I don't know if you can see it here. The little white parts, it's just fat from the bacon. You can take it out, or if you don't want it, but just cook along with it. And I know you're like bacon for chorizo, but actually it's the fat that I was after. So that's why I get the bacon that has a lot of fat in it, and I put it through the processor, and it comes out to a paste of bacon fat. But I like it. My family likes it. And I know what I'm putting into my chorizo. But the lazy me always buys some soy chorizo, because I don't like the regular chorizo. Because it's just a lot of fat. A lot of fat. So it just disappears. And I'm just reheating tortillas, that's all. I didn't make them this morning. Okay. And with this, you tend to have a little bit more meat than you would when you buy it at the store. To me, it's just all fat. They're selling you, it disintegrates. And I think that's gross, so that's why I started buying the soy chorizo. Because it has a little bit more body to it. And I like that. Good morning, Olga. Thank you guys for joining me. I am making my homemade chorizo. I made it last night around 9 or 10. So I prefer for it to sit overnight so all the spices can blend together. Let me show you a frozen pack. So this is frozen. Almost dropped it. I made it last night. I put them in Ziploc baggies, and I got about almost 6 packs. I got 5 of these and half of another one. And this is what I made last night. I mixed it all in a big old bowl and everything. And you use your hands. Make sure you got gloves. The spices that you use for it, I'm sure most of y'all have them at the house. But quite a bit of chorizo that you make, and it's not that bad, you know. Because I pay for the soy chorizo because I don't like the regular chorizo. It's just a lot of grease. A lot of it that you don't have no meat left. So, I really like this one. It tastes really, really good. Excuse me guys while I drink some of my coffee. It tastes good. And the longer you let it sit, the more the spices combine with each other. Now it does have the bacon fat in it. And I know with the other pan, because I made a little bit last night, I couldn't wait for it to be overnight, so we wanted to taste it because we like it fresh. So last night I used up, because this pan already sticks on me, so it's a little bit harder to cook on a pan that sticks. You'll need more oil. Yeah, I was trying to see, because I cooked in a little bitty pot that I hardly ever use, so that one doesn't stick at all. But this one, of course, is beat up. I've had it, and it's weird because I go through pans like crazy. Every year I replace my pans because I cook so much. I put a lot of wear and tear in them. And so it's time for me to get some pots and pans. I got them, let me see, either Christmas or my birthday, which is my birthday's in January. So I know I've had these almost for sure 8 months already. So every Christmas or my birthday I'll ask for a new set because I go through this like crazy. And this is already done. I just like doing the extra cooking. Okay. So, you know what, I'm going to put them in tortillas already. Because my son wanted some on the side and I want some on the side. I'll probably end up cooking another another pack of chorizo. Maybe. We'll see. But this is how I like mine, just plain. I don't need the egg. You know what? I did have a little bit left over from last night. The egg, I'm going to mix it up with this one. Now I have some salsa that I made. I made some fresh salsa yesterday morning. Or, yeah, in the morning. Okay, guys. Let me put this aside real quick. I'm going to get the little bit I have left over. Good morning, Bill. It's been a while I haven't seen you. I'm making some homemade chorizo. Okay. And just because of the pan I'm using, I put a little bit of oil. Just a little bit. Because my pan is starting to stick. Okay. Like I said, it really made it last night. I didn't use no oil. It's just the pan. Once they start sticking, you need that extra oil. And I'm going to throw in what I made last night, since it was late at night. It's a little heavy to be eating chorizo, so we only ate a little bit. Okay, I'm going to rinse my hands real quick. Okay, give it a good mix. You know what, I'm just going to throw the, from last night, the leftover. So that way it can warm up, mix up with this. I'm going to break it up. And make sure I break it up so that way it can warm up. My husband and my son say it's good. The mix with the egg. They like it a lot, so I'll take their word for it. They're actually really honest. If there's something that tastes a little funny or something or odd, they'll let me know. So I'll go back and fix it if I was like, okay, they didn't like it. My husband and my son eat everything. They don't care what it is. Okay. And it is done. I'm just going to put it in a little Tupperware, guys, so it stops cooking, because I don't want it to continue cooking. Give you enough close of what it looks like. And there is your chorizo, the homemade chorizo that I made. Let me get some here. Give a little bite. I have last night's dishes to do because I was making chorizo. You know what? Let me get a spoon for the salsa. And it's just a simple salsa. All I did was get some tomato and some jalapenos, and I boiled them. And then I just put it through the blender, and that was it. I really like the extra salsa with this. Tastes really good. Okay, so love salsa. Majority of my plants outside are, I have 3 tomatoes. 2 are tomatillo and the other 2, the other one is regular just garden tomato. Look at that. Salsa looks good. Thank you, Olga. I'm gonna flip you around. Okay, let's give her a try. It's really good, guys. I really need to try this recipe. I'll link it later on because I want to put the video together from me making it, and I'll probably include part of this video too, and I'll put the recipe with it. Yeah, have a good one, guys. I'm gonna go sit down and finish this taco. I'm gonna pack my son some breakfast and lunch in case he's gonna go to work. But love you guys. Yeah, have a good one. Bye.